protect yourself. So if that person ever came back and said, because of that show that I had a traumatic incident of that show that I had, and my child was also on there. This is what happened to me. You know, I can do most shows. And even when I carry my daughter, she wanted to do this whole commercials and thing. I had to sign a form that anything they say she would do or whatever, I can't come back and sue them. Why you think they do that? Because they want to protect themselves. And so many liability issues and so many legality that follows behind it. Gibson Jiro, let me give you a little incident here. So you say you've been in America so long. I don't know if you ever went and go on the Educational Writers Association where they gave the Reporters Guide, where they tell you the process of being an investigative reporter on how to interview children. Let me educate you tonight. Because your team, when you're old, you know it all, and that Liberian mentality is still in you. You can tell somebody any kind of way. The same Gibson Jiro man, he on Spoon TV every day. Gibson Jiro have the opportunity every day to make an awareness for his son. Y'all know that Gibson Jiro and son were beaten by 15 men in Liberia. They call him a Zogo. When we are, before Melvin Early wife even came on that show to talk about justice for her husband, you know Gibson Jiro could use his son murder as an example to explain to Liberian public why justice is important. Gibson Jiro's son, they call him a Zogo. This platform have carried Gibson Jiro's and son and murder story. I didn't care whether he was a Tidishan, whatever he was a Liberian person. Even if somebody is a murderer or they were a criminal, you arrest them, you carry them to jail. You don't go and just abuse power in your hand. The Gibson Jiro that on Spoon TV today, his son was just killed. I think in about March or May, 15 men beat him. They said he was a Zogo, he was a criminal. Gibson Jiro did not even make an awareness on Spoon TV. I will be on a platform like that. I have my little small platform. You can see every time I come on here, I call all the victims' name. I never met Mrs. Early before. I never met Ninswa Batan family. I come here every time. Why would I just come on the platform and just call my sister's name? But I will not call other victims' name. That's the serious of what I speak for. And I will even be selective on who name to call. That make me even selective in what I stand for. Gibson Jiro, you go on Spoon TV every day. Before every day you open your mouth as an investigative report, Mr. Journalist, you know your son's story should be your #1 awareness. You support that George Weah. They killed your son in Liberia. You been to Liberia a couple of months ago. You were on Spoon TV talking about I'm going to Calabash. Anybody who won't follow me, that the things are being Liberia for? Or you will be going around doing your investigative reports? Or you will be going around making live videos on evidence what you are collecting for your son murder? You think that makes it hard for a lot of you guys, because some of you guys exactly. Fisi man, talking about I'm a journalist. Let's read this. What a Reporter's Guide telling reporters who have to interview children. There's a Reporter's Guide. Interviewing children is a critical element of the education reporter's daily work. However, practices for gaining access and avoiding harm and embarrassment vary widely depending on the news organization and individual reporter in question. The document aims to provide journalists with broad guidelines, but it stopped short of advocating for the kinds of uniform policies to which academic researchers must adhere. Okay? These recommendations should be viewed as suggestions based on expert consensus. That means that it's case by case. Depending on what child you're interviewing, it's case by case. Depending on what child you're interviewing, based on that expertise of that expert. You don't know everybody in your school fee?
Kill my husband. The president of Liberia used to kill my husband. Because when I was getting married, Finabodo, they offered me $2,000 US. When I finished with my wedding, I did go back to Finabodo as Jamaica to kill my husband. The president of Liberia used to kill my husband. Because when I was getting married, Finabodo, they offered me $2,000 US. When I finished with my wedding, I did go back